So we're still, I've not received anything back from Young Associates on kind of a final plan or drawings for that stormwater. So we're just waiting on that from them to move forward.
The bring up to speed, the stormwater, there's a catch basin in the parking lot that doesn't connect to the city stormwater. Young and Associates are making that connection, and they ran into some technical problems of finding it and getting the elevation, but they seem to have that all worked out now. We're basically going to put about a 10-15 foot pipe in connecting to a new storm basin in the street. But that's hasn't been
Just tear the parking lot up and
just the last 10 feet of it, of course. But that seems like it's moving ahead. Any other problems with Eisenhower?
Nope, not them. Aware of anything.
The access to controls for the HVAC are done. The fire doors were wired. Direct Tech's working on an access for the front doors. The balancer was in on Saturday. Finished balancing the HVAC stuff. So other than that, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think the glass erectors who installed most of the glass in the entranceways, someone was delivered cracked and it was put in place, but they are coming on October 10th or whatever the next in-service day is when kids won't be there. So they're going to come and replace those couple, I think there's 10 panes of glass that need replaced that were delivered cracked. So yeah, I mean, we're just kind of tying up loose ends here or there. So
on the glass front, on one of these, eventually we're going to have to get those quick drop blinds that we talked about for the classrooms as part of that safety. What? Remember the original design, those panels next to the classroom are supposed to be opaque. They're supposed to be aluminum or metal of some sort.
No,
now
on the interior doors.
Interior rooms, yeah. So what we had talked about as a solution is having blinds that are up that in case of emergency, the teacher just has to go pull a string and the blinds drop to the floor so that people can't see in. So that was that was a year ago. We discussed that, or 6 months ago, but that is an expense that's still hanging out.
Is that the solution we want as opposed to coloring the glass or putting a film on the inside?
Well, we could do that too. If you wanted to spend the extra money to have the one way so people can see out but can't see in, that would be very nice.
I mean, there is film on the window.
you can put on that you can't see through.
Well, we also put a ballistic coat on too.
Well, that's being installed. The ballistic coat
It's
is
already installed.
already installed, but it won't stop the ammunition. It will keep it from shattering.
Right.
So if you can see in, you can still shoot at people if you wanted to. So we need to block the line of sight too. So whether you have the one-way films on that people can see, out and not in, or if we do the quick drop lines, I think either one of them just, if they had to go into a hide situation instead of running or fighting, that would be ideal because there's nowhere to hide if you're looking through glass doors. Through glass windows. So
And the glass windows are side light. They're about
Correct.
18 inches square.
Yeah, we had similar.
Yep.
A little bit bigger, but
Would it be, for that age level, would it be better to have the blinds? Because, I mean, if you can't see, and if kids are like outside trying to get back, and I'm just thinking worst case scenario, if they need to see in the room to make sure it's a room they can.
I think the film would be better than having to mess with blinds.
I think the film would probably be more safety oriented. I think for the daily operation, the principal might prefer the blind because they'd like to see what's in.
No.
So maybe we get a little team together there and
Get feedback from them.
get feedback from those people and come back with the recommendation with
The
the price.
difficulty is that you have a single adult in a room with kids and you don't have any observation. And that's one of the problems we have at Head Start.
For
So
sure.
being able to have outside people in the hallway to see in on normal operations also makes sense.
Yep. We'll get together with them and come back to you with a price and a best option.
What about, we approved padding for the columns. What about the padding on the end walls and that kind of thing? Are we making any progress on that?
The padding for the columns are approved. I talked to the HP teacher over there about what her thoughts are on the padding on the walls. She was gonna think about it and then we can do it regardless of what her opinion is, but at the time she said she was going to observe some gym classes, see what she thought as far as how far kids are running, what the need for it. I mean,
Talk to Dan too.
We
My
did.
concern is that when we're doing a competition, a competitive high schools, basketball game, and they're gonna run into that.
Yeah, there's no requirement by, for safety by PIAA,
Well,
but
they prefer 10 feet, but it's not required.
Right.
You need at least a minimum of 3.
But I also know that when you're driving down for a layup, that
Yeah.
That
Or you
wall- the wall comes up
get,
real
you get
quick.
fouled and you get into the, I mean, you have no way to stop yourself. There should at least be padding.
yeah, we'll get you a quote. And we'll bring it back to you.
Yeah. At least on the two leg walls.
Mhm.
Okay, Doug, do you think the sidewall needs it?
I wouldn't say the sidewalls.
Okay, at least the two leg walls.
Yeah, the baseline's definitely, I mean, unless you have enough space in between there, I can't, I mean,
I can get exact how much.
Yeah, I don't think it's
We
10
should
feet.
have- we should have about
Close.
10 feet between that, but it's still, we put the padding on the high school because of that problem. You go for layup, somebody.
yeah, the old gym has basically 3-4 feet
Oh,
max.
yeah, the old gym,
Yeah.
the old gym, you're on the wall.
But the new gym, there's no padding
Yeah,
because there's bleachers on each side, each
yeah,
end.
but, yeah, everything that isn't bleachers is padded. All the stuff around the doors.
All around the doors.
Yeah. Yeah, the doors themselves are padded. But get Dan's opinion and
Yeah.
and bring it back to us, okay?
We'll move.
And line painting on the gym floor, is Dan sure think he needs that?
He doesn't, and neither does the HPE teacher either. If she wants it at some point, she said she will put a piece of tape down just for her
So
HPE
this is
class.
for the practice baskets. They didn't know anything for the practice.
Well, I mean, if high school teams are gonna practice there at times, if the gyms are,
The full court has them.
Yeah.
It's just the two
Side courts. don't
two
have-
side courts.
Before basket, yeah, if they're playing cross court, these lines aren't there.
Like I said, she said she can put down tape if she needs to at some point for her HPE classes. I mean, not saying high school will never practice there, but they're
if they
really,
do, they at least wanna know where the foul line is. I
Yeah.
mean, you use all.
right now the floor is sealed, so either way, we would just be putting some tape down or something temporarily.
When Rob refinishes the floor in 10 years, he could bring the foul line stuff. Okay, so that's that?
Yep.
Anything else there? No roof leaks?
As of now, no.
Okay. Give us the ESCO update.
Everything's pretty much finishing up on the ESCO project. The speakers for the stadium are supposed to be shipping this week and should be installed in the next week or two. And that will finish up kind of the stadium area. We are going to, there is the temporary speaker that I felt worked pretty well on Friday for the game. But the only is the pool pack should be done, is finishing up, controls
I
are
think the
finishing up.
pullback should be done this week.
So that one should be, the ESCO project should be finishing up here in the next couple of weeks.
The two auditoriums are done?
The lighting, or
Yeah, the lighting
the
there.
senior high, they had training today, it's complete. I believe they said the junior high should be complete by the end of the week,
Oh, great, great.
and they're retraining there.
Yep. So, we're
Great.
finishing up these couple
Wrap
projects.
that up.
High school renovation, the classroom side of the, classroom side for the high school kids is pretty much, that room is complete.
And in use.
And it is in use. The other kind of areas are painting's almost complete, flooring's complete, casework is going in. The high school teachers was planning on having kids arrive mid-October, which at our meeting on Thursday, the contractors don't see any reason why those areas will not be complete by then.
Exterior.
Exterior door may be the only thing that isn't complete, but there is a temporary one in there, and the teachers have a plan of bringing the kids in. There's not far from there is a stairwell with a set of doors. So they'll be bringing kids in from that area until the permanent doors there. The wiring Direct Tech has been there, to probably look what they need to do to make that a card access door. So as soon as the door's here, it should be able to.
Were the parents bring the kids in through that side door?
No, not through the temporary door.
No, when the door permanently. Like,
Yes, that was the plan.
Then we'll go through the main hall, main hall.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the casework for the science room, I believe, is supposed to ship this week or next week. And they have a date scheduled for installing that, with all the other trades scheduled to follow right behind them to do their final hookups as well. So hopefully mid-October, the science room should be done as well.
Yeah, they said, third week of September for Educators Rising 5 area. And then, they put the casework in the workroom, kitchen area. It's really good. And we'll have that. She said she'll be able to release it to us upstairs by the third week of October.
I was telling legend.
We've just had this couple change orders, so
It's a
hopefully we should be done with change orders at this point. I mean, that was done. They're just putting stuff back together now.
Discover.
So you think you're safe?
It should be, yes.
What kind of a contingency was on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I didn't say that.
think a 5% contingency.
The people at the ICTC are thrilled with the response in the number of students that they've got. I know it's a little out of line, but the point I'm making is that the justification for the expense, it appears to be, is justified with the number of students. Rob, you could maybe.
Yeah, we were hoping to get, 7 to 10 students the first year, and we had 17 registered. That 17 melted off to about 14 right now. But still at 14, that's much larger than the average ICTC program that's just starting up. So hopefully, and I have no doubt, the teachers are going to do a great job. Once they start doing their work, that word is going to spread, and we're going to have more and more kids from the outside, I believe. So it's.
And they will be a regular feature radio segment monthly. We're taking either Sarah or Marianne, whichever one available, and some of the new students. They're excited about going there. So we just plan to sprinkle that out throughout the year, and they'll do a nice job of promoting.
And
What's the capacity?
capacity is much higher than 17. I don't know if we ever figured it out, but if you ran 2 sessions each morning and afternoon, you could probably fit 40-ish, I don't know that.
Marianne and Sarah, Marianne went to the conference. They said by the third year, they expect full capacity in the different programs that they visited and networked. That the first year or so is a slow start, and then preceding years that fill up pretty well.
Think you can double it next year?
That's the goal. Yeah, absolutely. Doubling it next year would be a win in my book. If we get up into the low
Would
30s.
you double the capacity from the young kids into the children?
In theory, yeah. I mean,
So we can serve more citizens too.
if we have the interest, for sure. I don't want to speak for I don't want to say we'll be adding
No,
time
I
because they have a
understand.
curriculum to get through and stuff, but but in
But by
theory,
expanding the education process, we also expand the young kids.
yeah, we've already tried to do it in the afternoon as well. I don't think we've had the return on the
Correct.
the advertisement. We have fewer kids in the afternoon.
The way Sarah explained to me, I don't want to say it's a benefit of funds being cut to preschool programming and so forth, but it has generated interest in their program.
I should imagine.
So I was just back in the workroom, there's 12 lockers for the little kids, preschoolers. So minimum. Each program.
Charge these students. Is that correct?
It's rolled into ICTC. It's an ICTC program run in our building, if you remember.
The youngsters, the little ones.
Oh, I think that's free.
It's free.
When you get more than 15, childcare requires an additional teacher. That's one teacher per 15 students.
If you're a daycare, we're not a licensed
I
daycare.
understand that.
All right.
But you can take it as not a requirement, but a guideline.
Sure, guideline is nice.
If you get more than 15 kids in there, you probably can't manage them.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, we're gonna have, I mean, ideally, we'll have a group of high school students that are learning this plus 2 teachers. If we get to the point where we have to split the teachers, we'll probably come back and ask for an aide to run the program like they do at the ICTC. So it'll be a good problem to have at that point.
And
When I
if
was
we're
at
running a
St.
really
Albans, we
success.
used to have up to 60 in there.
Yeah.
Well, again, the point I was trying to make is that the program is starting off a huge success
So forth.
and justifies the expense of converting those rooms.
That's good news.
How do we earn money back on that? Do we earn,
So earn money back
or like, how do we justify that cost? Like what we spend?
or expanding the opportunities for the kids is the one thing, like,
But like students coming into our building, like, is there something with the VOTech and
There'll be money,
we-
we'll be getting money back.
We'll
from
be getting
both.
money
back,
Yes,
yeah.
we'll be billing the VOTech for a portion of that
and that'll start,
this year.
that starts this year.
yes,
So we
starts
build
this year. Now it's a 3-year like temporary agreement. And at the end of that 3 years, we're going to have to reassess that and, see what we should be charging because it's a sweet deal right now for them to try to incentivize the participation. So, but yeah, it will eventually,
Okay.
in theory, bring back some revenue.
Yeah. And those,
Plus it
Yeah.
reduces our cost in general to ICTC.
So that's where the money comes out, is our cost of what we spend.
Partly, but down the road, it would be advantageous for us to get some money back through things like they're going to pay for some of the utilities up there. They're going to look at the contract and see exactly what they're paying, but they are paying.
And I think they paid for some of the equipment or something.
They tried, they failed, they didn't get the grant, so we're going to have to
Okay.
revisit that. But yeah, but it'll be in 3 years, we have to really assess what that space is worth and see if they want to take it on somewhere else or if they want to keep it where it is.
and also, if we have a lot of kids in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
We may want to throw
I
out.
want to say 9 of the kids are ours. So which is good.
Yeah, so, but in 3 years, you can sit down and figure it out. You'll be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's true.
I would like to go back to the high school just a few minutes.
Mhm.
I've heard nothing but great things about the lights. The lights on the field and the light show that they put on.
It was nice. I will say this. At first, we were yelling at Dan because when we scored the first touchdown, it just looked like they just blinked because it was still light outside.
Yeah, you couldn't tell until it got dark.
Right when it got dark, it got really cool. But yeah, at first I was like,
What the
"That's
thing
it."
you yelled at Dan?
Yeah. No, he was the one programming the lights, or at least working with people to program the lights. So it was, but it did really look nice. It added an element of,
Even
really
the,
for sure.
I thought it was the best atmosphere in 5 years down at that stadium with the student
It really
body.
was
And
nice, yeah. So they came out, the Rowdy Rooters came out, the parents came out, the place was packed.
oh, it was great as it was Pee Wee recognition, junior high recognition. So the younger kids got to see that, incentivize what it's all about.
The light quality was really.
It was good. We do have to shoot some of the lights back toward that fence, like up toward the top of the fence. It gets a little dark, but,
I was looking at the football field itself.
football field itself is unbelievable. And around the football field is good, but up toward the fence where we have it, it's a little bit dark. So we want to, number one, we want to highlight that so that there's a safety issue up there. Number one. And number two, if we're selling those advertisements on that fence, you can't see them if it's dark and the rest of the football season, it'll be dark when everybody's there. So
But those old lights at his end zones, dim. And the door.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Really, really nice and even.
it looks nice. And they have like the little accent lights up the poles that were red. It was nice.
Good.
Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all you. So,
And again, we don't get complimented very much. I've got a lot of them on that event.
we could.
The thing that Doug said was all the kids in the atmosphere, the lights really added to.
Yeah.
So you want to do track resurfacing first and come back to Silver Park?
Yeah, we will be this is really just a heads up to the committee and the board is that our track is getting toward the end of its useful life. It's hard to believe, but it has been almost 10 years since we redid it.
No, it was just the other day.
I know.
Just the other day, I swear.
Told Dan the same thing when he came to me. I said, I remember it can't be that long. So he is working with a company to at least get us a quote and to get us a budget figure. Last time we spent a little bit more on it because we widened it so that we could actually be,
6 lanes.
yes, and they weren't wide enough or something, I think, to actually hold playoffs.
Yeah,
So hopefully we won't have that expense this time, but
What kind of a number are you predicting?
if I had to remember the last time, it was a couple $100,000.
How much?
So a couple $100,000
I'd say it'd probably be 250.
to resurface it. So we're gonna get that quote, and hopefully by the October Buildings and Grounds, we will have that. We'll at that time have it a revised capital projects matrix, have that included, and we can review that as a committee. But I just kind of wanted to give the committee a heads up that
Yeah, that's been coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's holes in it. They have to keep on coming replacing. They don't lie. Once the track starts, they get dug up pretty quick and it's kind of hazardous.
so it is something that we may have to look at doing next summer.
Track season is in the spring.
Yes.
Can we get it done for track season?
I don't need that.
Well, you wouldn't be able to use that grass field and they use it some for soccer practices, depending on what other events are going on. That whole inside the track would be non-usable. Plus, I think it has to be so warm for that stuff till I think it has to be like 60 degrees,
Yeah, I mean,
55.
it's been patched. It's not unusable at this time, but
It would be
it's,
through
you
another
know, it may be
season.
something we need to line up as a project for next summer. So
Okay, we'll go that way. Keep patching it.
Well,
You see number
well,
seven?
since we have this foreknowledge now, we definitely need to put it as part of the budget.
I was gonna ask how you gonna pay for it.
Yeah. Needs to be part of the,
Where are you gonna?
part of the budget process.
yeah, and
It's not, oh crap, we need to do this now at the last minute.
absolutely. Yes, we will have a quote. We'll have a better figure for you, and it will be something as part of the conversation in the capital reserve budget of what we're going to do next year. So
What's your
Okay.
current balance?
I don't have that right in front of me. That's something we're working. It's kind of year end, and then also we've had a lot of projects happening right now that we're trying to get closed out. So I don't want to, at the end of last year, after all the projections, there was probably I think a little over $1 million, but we're trying to work that out with the junior high roof closing, these 2 projects closing, those type of things to see how much exactly is left over after all this summer's projects. Then
Probably less than $1 million.
I'm hoping it'll be around $1 million, if not a little bit more. So
And your taxes are coming in at the same rate as usual.
yes.
Thanks for doing that. Did you get that resolved yet?
No, it's a work in progress. And so Randy and his team are working on this for over a week now. So what seems to be happening, we can fill out some of the details. Every day, right around 4th period, the Wi-Fi on one floor, on the first floor academic wing, shuts down for like 10 minutes. And it has to be something.
It's on lunch.
Not quite. If it was lunch, it'd be better. But it must be rebooting. Something is rebooting or restarting because it's only that one area. But then all of the access points in that area send him an error message that they basically shut down.
And this is the official Wi-Fi for teachers and student
The
academic access.
Academic access. So, and it's been happening for a while now. So they've been trying different things and they're working with Cisco's. Is it Cisco? You might know better.
Cisco.
I think it's like almost Meraki. Meraki.
Meraki.
Meraki, yeah, Meraki is the bigger parent company that helps us troubleshoot these ideas. Currently, what they are looking at is they turned off some switches, and today, or at least on Friday, the Friday was a different problem entirely, but the access points did not shut down. So they solved part of the problem. So they're trying to isolate what it is and figure it out. They're going to now try to do some different things with the switches to see if they can eliminate the problem. They're basically eliminating potential problems with each day to get it to where it is. On Friday, we had a massive outage, and that was because we crushed a cable in one of the rooms with apparently there was a maintenance backing up a truck, bumped a desk that smashed a cord or something. So that's what caused that. So that's been fixed and remedied. But the daily thing that's happening is still being diagnosed. They're on it. They're aware of it. It's getting better. It's still not fixed. Did it happen today? Tom, do we know if it happened today? Third, fourth period?
I do not think it happened today. No, Carla didn't say anything to me about it.
Okay, so keep your fingers crossed that maybe we identify the problem and fix this, but if not, they're gonna fix it soon. So it's only a matter of time till they get it narrowed down to the point where.
It's something that maybe send out just a parent note letting, because I'm sure some kids are coming home saying stuff just to let them,
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, just so parents are aware that there is a problem that
They're aware of
the
it.
district's working on.
I'm glad to hear that, they're trying to determine the problem because it's been quite an issue. Not academically, but security wise. I have my phone when I walk in, I have to connect to the building. Wi-Fi still can use my phone. But there'll be times I'll turn the corner, talking to someone, and I don't know, like, what they could do to determine what are the dead spots, if there are any in the building, or if it's connected to that. Maybe we just take it one step at a time. If they fix that,
Yeah.
then we can.
I'm not aware of dead spots. I'm just aware of, like, I think it's pretty well covered as far as Wi-Fi access points are concerned in your building. At least I've not heard that
Well,
there's.
No, cell service is terrible in
Well,
the
the cell
inside
service is-
rooms.
Yeah, different thing. You're talking, is that what you're talking about? Or you're talking about?
For me to use my phone, I have to connect through teacher BYOD.
Correct. And then enable Wi-Fi.
To do that, there are spots in the building. That when I turn a corner, it will disconnect me. Or since Dan Rowan down in his office, he needs to leave. his office.
That's terrible. Donnie he tried to call him on his cell phone. He has to leave his office to go outside.
I did speak to Randy about that before I left.
Is that,
In the upper commons, there is an issue there, definitely.
are they related problems? Or are they separate problems?
Find out.
I believe that's a separate issue.
Yeah, we can work on that too. That one I wasn't aware of. I was aware of the,
It is one of those things, you don't know it until you experience it, and then
work orders have been submitted.
I historically.
Okay, just make sure. All right, yeah, we can do that. And we'll communicate something to the parents so that they can know that.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
seeing how fast.
And
At the same time, this Wi-Fi situation down at the gymnasiums has been ongoing for a long time.
It's gone a little better. They've done some stuff, but there's still several spots inside the gym you can't, because I know teams come in and they use those, just iPads with Huddle or Game Tracker, Game Changer and all that, and they can't do what you can do in every other gym because they can't get onto Wi-Fi.
And I would say this, Randy and his team are extremely responsive, but it sounds like there's a bigger issue that needs to be rectified that will then allow he and his team to be able to better address what those issues are. If there's something with the infrastructure, and if we got Cisco or whoever it is doing this, it'll be good, because we go online testing with Keystones.
Yeah,
We
which
should be
is,
okay in the winter, but we'll go big time in the spring, so we gotta make sure we're good with that.
This is, we don't know how to solve it. Okay, so we're looking to our staff or outside people to solve this problem. And, we have to spend money to solve it. It should be solved.
well, I think, and I talked to Randy today, I don't think we're there yet. I think they're getting to that point where if they get, they don't know what to do next, they'll
No,
include the
I
outside. help.
understand that, but there's two problems. One is the academic load shutting down.
Sounds like there's three problems, yeah.
Okay, the other one is that there's still, after all this work that we've done, there's still dead spots in the building that shouldn't be there.
Mm.
Okay, you should be able to walk in the building and not have to push it off.
Yeah.
Okay,
You sure people just aren't hanging up on you, wait?
We're now-
well, that could.
I didn't want to have to give your thing away, Rob.
okay, so we go back to number 5.
Yeah, what was number, solar?
Or do you want to do this,
Was there, how about number 4? You didn't go
can I
with,
skip number 4?
you want to do that?
Yeah.
The East Pike and Ben Franklin Kohler.
Oh, yes, okay, I'm sorry.
Ben Franklin is up and running, has been for right at the beginning of school. The one issue we're looking at Ben Franklin is the freezer is pretty slick inside. We need to get some treads or something on there so that employees aren't slipping when they're working in that freezer. We're working with Culinary Depot on that. Another issue we're having at Ben Franklin is the cooler itself is built right on the cement, right on the slab. So we are getting some condensation underneath the cooler. So we may have to at some point just put some insulation and spray under there just to prevent condensation from in the crawl space underneath the cooler itself.
I'll take that.
It's all across space.
It's on slab. The cooler is right on slab. The box is actually built right on. There was a floor put down, but there's no insulation on the cement itself. So we are getting condensation in the crawl space right underneath the cooler.
You can't have it both ways. It's either built on, it's not built, so it's built on a crawl space on top of a slab.
It's built on the slab, which is over the crawl space,
Okay, and there's no insulation on the floor?
not under the floor. No,
The floor itself isn't insulated?
No.
Okay.
The floor of the cooler or the floor of
The floor
the
of
slab?
cooler.
the floor of the cooler is the
slab.
itself, is the cement floor of that.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we are looking at ways that we're possibly going to have to at least spray maybe some insulation underneath the cooler in the crawl space.
Why isn't that floor part of the box?
It's similar to our other coolers, some of our other coolers and stuff at the high school and even the junior high are right on cement. And I think that's how they designed it to be built, but it is causing the floor to remain cool and then condensate down in the crawl space itself. So we will not have that issue at East Pike because it is built outside.
Did they put any insulation under the slab of East Pike?
No, there's nothing underneath the slab here at East Pike.
It's gonna suck the energy right out of that freezer.
This one hasn't come and is being redesigned, so we are possibly looking at putting a thin floor in this one with a ramp going up into it.
That's the way that I've always seen these things. It's a 6-sided box. We got 5 sides on this thing and then nothing on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and I mean, the ones at the high school and junior high are just on a cement slab.
Okay, so we're gonna end up spraying insulation on the bottom of that. On the bottom of that.
At Ben Franklin, yes, we probably will have to. Unless we find it more economical to put a floor in there with a little ramp up to get into it. Because right now, when the door opens, it's level going right into it. But they make smaller floors that have a little ramp going into it, so.
I understand that. It's that East Pike, they could have recessed the slab to see the floor. And they probably could have done that slab with insulation under it. Should be disappointing.
The freezer has a floor here at East Pike. So it
The
is
new
in
freezer.
the new freezer, yes.
But the refrigerator doesn't.
The refrigerator is not, no.
Okay. Just gonna happen it. Okay. What's this, camera at junior high school? What's that? Where's that from?
That is a quote we've gotten. It is something that we've been discussing and has been on our safety and security list, but it is a quote to begin the process or complete, I guess, the process of upgrading our camera system at the junior high. Mike has been working with Direct Tech as part of an upgrade at the junior high. Can you give me
Yeah, so
more details?
So currently, the junior high camera system is operating on the Avigilon system, which is the old system that's been in the district that we had in the district. We're looking to upgrade the junior high cameras, migrate over the cameras that will work with the Axis system, the newer system that the rest of our buildings have. take care of some dead spots, some blind areas within the building and outside the building. Upgrade the servers so they can handle more camera coverage and recording. So that's the quote that they gave us to do everything, including the work. We were hoping to do it in phases over the course of the year, and have it completed by the end of the year with board's approval.
Has this been authorized?
Authorized, but the safety core team has had this on their priority list for a couple of years now. So yeah, it's,
But the board hasn't seen this yet.
no, the board's gonna have to approve it. Yeah.
Do we approve it in executive session or we just approve it?
I don't know that you need to do that one, and usually safety stuff will be talked about in the exec session, but I don't know if cameras are really.
I don't think there's anything to be concerned about doing it in the executive session here. We're just looking, we have a camera system in there, but we're looking to upgrade it to.
Bring it up to speed with all the other systems.
Is it only,
So when you say upgrade, is this the quality of the pictures it's taking? Or what is the enhancement that the upgrade is actually going to bring us for this amount of money?
Yeah, it's going to, I mean, they're looking to install more digital cameras. It's going to be Wi-Fi accessible. The camera systems will be able to be accessed from administration office, by law enforcement.
Police, yeah.
So
Currently, right now, the system is so old that the camera, not only are the pictures low quality, but the interactive nature of the system is problematic. So we have all of our cameras on, we can bring up any camera in the district on our phones real quickly, except at the junior high. The police can bring up any camera in the district except for the junior high. So for safety, for the
the
quality.
junior high system is how long now?
So
couldn't tell you when the
So,
visual system was put in.
I guess,
Oh, when was the renovation done?
2012.
So we're dealing with a system that's at least 20 years old.
so I guess what I would suggest we do here is, without disclosing any security concerns, put together essentially a punch list of all of the enhancements, all of the justification, all the reasoning for spending this kind of money, so that we can have that discussion or presentation to the public and the press as to why it's necessary to spend this kind of money here, and not that we just need to upgrade it.
And also where we are on the security budget. I've taken, did you have this kind of number plugged in?
We had some of these items as a thought. I mean, the security budget, we don't have numbers for all the security items we've been talking about, but this has been,
Well,
And then,
because we know we can't do it all. I mean, we don't have a budget. We don't have the money to do all of it right now.
Is it a 10-year plan? And I think we need to hone in on this.
The safety core team put together a plan that over the next 3 years, we'd have 3 more big bites. The junior high cameras are a big bite, the CareHawk system at the senior high and the CareHawk system at East Pike. And those are the mass alert systems and the PA system upgrades.
Yes, that's what I thought. Is this part of that? For this school?
No, this is not.
I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's on the plan or not.
So-
We had-
Well, this is the first I've heard that I can remember. So, I mean, and I knew that we had these other projects lined up and we were gonna phase them in, but now we're looking at another 150,000 that I never.
so the other question that I would ask, Jared, is, what's the possibility of trying to seek out some grant money? We're all the time hearing about various, security grants that are out there from, whether it's PDE or DCED or federal or whatever. We should probably try to look at what grants are potentially available and then have that discussion. And then maybe that's partly how this gets taken care of. If Mike said, if you're gonna do it in phases, maybe the grant pays for the first phase, or even if it doesn't pay for the whole phase or the whole project, then, there may be some advantages,
Mhm.
advantages to that.
Some of those grants though, a lot of times they're gonna pay for things that are gonna last past a certain time frame. So some of that stuff doesn't have a lifespan of more than 10 years, they may not fund that through the grant. So most of those cameras aren't gonna have that lifespan.
When were you planning on doing this? I mean, it hasn't even been through.
He just got, not just here in the last month or two when you gave your thing, but I remember last year you gave, I didn't even think was Bubba here when you went through some of these things that this was gonna be on the horizon.
Horizon, but what are you talking about doing?
As soon as the budget allows for it, I think is.
So it may not be,
I think especially with this and this project here at 150 is to do it all. I think what we've been talking about is doing it in steps. The servers can be upgraded at this point, which would help a little bit, and that's the first step. Certainly grant funding can be written for. We will know what grants are available, at least statewide, when we have a state budget.
Yeah.
Which we can look at. Now we don't even know what kind of money is available.
Are we required to have, because of that amount of money, are we required to have multiple bids on this? I mean, 'cause there's-
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there's more than one Access dealer out there in
Absolutely.
Western and Central PA.
Yeah, I mean, they bring their pricing off a state contract, so
Right.
we can use state contract to do it.
but Tom, my concern, I mean, these are all big numbers. The PA systems were big numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know exactly where we are on those projects, but I think we need to see some sort of a matrix so we can gauge. Because there's gonna be other projects that come up that everybody's gonna want, that are gonna be, and we're only into September.
Is this the last big security project?
No, there's a couple at the other buildings.
No, we have PA system needs to be redone at the senior high school.
Senior.
It's well past its lifespan.
And then,
I mean, East Pike's PA system currently works, but, we'd like to get all the buildings, using the same systems.
Did you complete Ben Franklin's?
Ben Franklin PA system's completed and
That's
operating, yes.
So which one are you working
But like I
on?
said, there's.
We're not working on any PA systems right now. The next two big ones that we talked about were senior high and East Pike.
Is the junior high one newer or older?
Junior high one is probably the newest out of all of them because that was the last building that was renovated before.
Because it did not, they had an open house the other night and it did not work at all. It was-
So
At some point in time, that will probably need to be upgraded.
So we haven't started the number 2 project on that. And now we're looking at this one. Wouldn't you want to
if-
wait until, excuse me, I'm sorry.
that's all right. Eric, your point is well taken about what some of the grants may not cover. Maybe they don't cover the cameras.
Right.
But if you need servers or you need wiring or you need other things, maybe you get the grant to pay for whatever's it's eligible for, whether it's 50% or 100%, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
it's still worth pursuing, I believe, though.
Jared, so is this quote from CoStars or is it just through direct? So
It comes off of, they're using state contract pricing.
you're probably not gonna get much better because that's their,
Yeah, I
just
mean,
who does it, you're not gonna get much better.
Yeah, I just
pricing.
wondered how,
Yeah.
like I said, as far as the different,
Yeah, anything over basically $25,000, we have to
Why
bid
would
it
we
out.
wait until you do the junior PA system? What, was there any benefit in doing them separately when you got the school disrupted and you've got,
no,
Well,
it's just,
the video and the PA systems are two separate systems. So,
right, but still, how many, well, does it pay to do them separately? Not financially, but is there any sense in waiting till you do the junior high PA system?
The junior high is one of the newer ones he just said.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think the reason that this is at the top is that this was what the safety core team has identified as the most pressing of the priorities. It's not really a cost benefit of, we didn't really look at, the best way to package it financially, which we can do that, but we have this one, the high school, East Pike, that need to be done within the next, as soon as humanly possible.
When
To
you
go-
say this one, you mean the camera systems?
Camera system at the junior high is woefully inadequate. It's senior high PA system and mass alert. They don't have a mass alert system at the senior high, so
Let's take a step backwards here. And at least give us a list of these projects.
we have provided that in the past. We've given you the list of
Okay,
the,
give it to us.
yeah, we'll give it to you again and we'll bring it back.
Yeah, I don't understand it in terms of, I thought we had already started number 2 on the PA. I didn't know that we were waiting to do that. So
well,
when
we
you-
were finishing Eisenhower. Eisenhower is I
We did it
That's-
primarily.
We've done,
because of
we've done Ben
construction
Franklin
project.
and Eisenhower PA systems. Camera systems, we're done with every building except junior high school. It's the last one.
Okay, so you have-
So can we have that laid out so we can see it on an eight,
Absolutely.
you know, on a spectrum?
Well, yeah, if you're really talking about 3 or 4 projects, that's one list. We're talking about 15 projects, that's another list. And right now, I'm nervous that there's 15 projects that you know, that we need to plan on. So if you just have a handful of these things, it's gonna make it a lot easier to swallow the rest.
We can get that to you.
Can that go for audit finance? You get it ready?
Mhm.
Very good. I like to see how you're gonna plug it all in and what year and what we have to brace for.
Okay, moving on, okay? Unless it's PA solar,
The,
fire.
since our last buildings and grounds meeting, we got PA Solar updated, electric bills for all the buildings. And she updated her presentation, for putting solar pretty much at every single building, including the maintenance shed. This is her report as to where she would put it. Now, this report here shows it as though we as a district are buying it. I did ask her, you know, I thought after the last committee meeting, we had more interest in doing a PPA, which would be somebody else building the system, maintaining it. She said it's not really feasible to do it unless you're doing a system that has at least 500 kilowatts of power, which we could combine multiple projects. So she's willing to revise this to have a PPA program in place, but she needs to know which of these programs we as a district are willing to combine together to create, because singly, no building has creates a capacity of 500 kilowatts according to her calculation. So she needs to know which projects we're even willing to consider move forward with.
So the proposal at the high school, which I think is towards the end of behind the, and beside the football stadium, comes up with 518, 519 kilowatts, 418.9.
So we could combine that one with Eisenhower if we wanted to. That one in the junior high.
And the bus garage is 138.1. And so that would give you the 550 roughly kilowatt hours just in those two. And be the least disruptive. On the facilities itself.
Sure is tempting. Just how do you get it? How do we accomplish it? And how far do we want to go?
I mean,
You go to the senior high.
She didn't do a ton of-
see, what I like about the doing it at the bus garage and at the senior high school, they're gonna be on the ground and there won't be any complications if you had to do a roof replacement like you would at the junior high school. Again, it's not that it couldn't be done, but it may complicate it. Same way at Eisenhower, again, they're putting most of it on the roofs. East pipe and so on and so forth, but that would be my thought process would be,
And also please, when you're looking at this and she's factoring her savings, it does not include, she's considering we're paying cash. Like if the committee or board was to even consider purchasing our own, her numbers are not accurate because they don't include financing. We do not have the cash to pay for any of these systems.
But her 596 for Ben Franklin is cash. And so if we borrow 800,000 at.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you gotta factor those,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
savings is less when you factor in financing costs. Because there's a cost of borrowing money, which she does not factor into these.
So we're looking at 5 or 6 million. in total.
Yeah, looks like it.
I'm just pulling them out of the.
I know, but did you?
And do we know if those tax credits are staying?
The tax rates are staying until.
2 years.
Until.
July 4th.
It's like, the window's gonna close pretty quickly, that's why we're just looking at this. This year.
And that's why I was just wondering how quickly that was
Either
gonna
do
be
it
moved
now
on.
or we don't.
Because I thought those were going away, so.
Just a lot to bite off all of them. I wasn't aware you had to come to the 500. I thought,
You don't have to if you're purchasing the system yourself. She is recommending the best way to take advantage of a purchase power agreement where somebody else comes in and basically puts it in, is to create a system that generates over 500
But-
kilowatt
but
hours.
the high school is close enough. I'd sell the high school for 400 to some. So it doesn't. Somebody's gonna bite on it. It's not a law that they have to be over 500.
No.
It's a preferred thing, and we're close enough.
and
on
you
the high
earn
school,
these,
so.
you earn these like stocks, almost like a.
Why don't we
There's some way
treat
they
this
can
back
do
and
that.
analyze it?
That's hasn't,
Bring it
that's
back to
sold,
finance
but
at the
that's
next
traded on an open market.
Yeah, the only,
And it's
Is that you do that?
They're carbon.
Yeah, I think, I mean, this is something where I think the
sort of
whole
work
board
like
needs
that,
to
but
hear a
that's not what they
presentation
call
on
it.
too, not just, I understand the committees, but we don't have everyone come to the committees, I think, before. I just think it needs to be a presentation that everyone
CC something.
can be here
Yeah,
for.
It's not a-
we've had 2 or 3
It's mainly
presentations.
bought by,
I don't disagree
it works
that
that way,
before
mainly
we vote
bought by
on
like
this,
a coal company
but
or something.
I would
Right,
think.
yeah, I think that is
we
the carbon
could
credits.
But that's not what they
Finance
call
committee
them, it's a
make
different type
recommendation
of,
to the board.
maybe I'm
You
thinking
said it
of
was
something.
CC?
Something.
SRAX?
What do you call those things you get?
That's the
SRAX.
SRAX, yeah. S, whatever that.
I see here Ben Franklin is not on the roof, but it's also kind of out in that floodplain area. Or behind the building there.
This.
I think it's not on the roof because that roof is at this point 10, 12 years old.
Correct, but my point is that there's another 234 kilowatts, and now you're at 780, almost 800 kilowatts, without trying to complicate roof replacements.
I think,
The thing with that Ben Franklin, that's what the Pee Wee football utilizes for their fields. and
right,
that's-
exactly, so would disrupt.
So, yeah, we don't, I mean, there's nowhere else they can practice because of this.
So,
I would hesitate to do anything at Ben Franklin, especially in the next.
Not sure what we'll do with it.
Yes.
Well, I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
what I think we should do, if I may, is decide if you want to talk about investing, and maybe we do take it to audit and finance and have that discussion there. If you want to invest in purchasing it yourself, and like Jared mentioned, that's going to require debt service. Do you want to look at a power purchase agreement where you can, have somebody else own the equipment and we're just buying the energy from them? And then based on what you want, if you want the latter of those two, you're gonna have to decide, like Mr. Schro's doing, which buildings do you want to, which sites do you want to put them in? If we package that up, then we have CAT come in and talk to the whole board and say, based on the recommendation of committee, this is the way that you guys, that they think is smartest. Here's what we have to offer. And this is what it would save you over a period of.
That's what we need to, but here's my question, with the P, what do you call it, the PP,
TPA. Power
do we get to accumulate these?
No,
No,
they,
Only
the
the
person
owner.
selling it to us.
That's already.
That's
I
what
think
they,
that's a pretty big factor to consider.
So the only benefit of the PPAs really is we don't maintain it, we don't own it,
Which is
and then we
nice.
get a locked in energy price.
What did Homer City do? Did they self-finance or did they go with these PP things?
Are they the ones who did one of each?
I think they did.
Really?
I think they did.
But I can find
I
out
think
for you.
that's something we have to explore, just whether or not we want this.
Yeah, how much is this?
I mean, I have no problem doing things on roofs, but when you're taking up space, well, we don't have a lot of space at buildings now for kids for use and all that, so that's just my concern. I mean, if we get an influx of kids from the power plant stuff and we have to add on or different things, we have more kids coming in, are we
And
hurting ourselves?
conceptually, Doug, I agree with that. But if we were looking at the bus garage,
I have no problem about the bus garage or on the roofs. It's just,
On the ground.
yeah, on the ground at the elementary buildings or the
well,
junior senior high.
again, maybe we just do the senior high and the bus garage. And the chances of using that bank behind the athletic field for anything would be pretty minimal, I would think.
I mean, he's basically tied up then for, what is it, 30 years?
Yeah.
You're gonna try to on that because once the infrastructure is there, it's easy to.
20 years now is like 100 used to.
Well, I think Rob has the right idea, Julia.
You too. I mean, it's.
Take it to your committee, kick it around financially, and then take it to the full board and make the present to the full board.
I would just like to talk to people that get these things.
Weren't they supposed to give us a list of names, like larger, I know Homer Center,
So,
they won't really tell us, but they kind of insinuated when Walter, you said that name. I'd like to get some bigger schools that have larger areas like
Yeah.
we're doing, just to get their feedback that I may have done in the last 1 to 3 years, so we get an idea.
I'm not objecting to investigating the ownership of it. But they're gonna need to sell me on that because my concern is, if we own it, then whatever issues there are with the equipment in the future, there are issues to deal with. And maybe there won't be, or maybe there will be. But, if you lease it or do the, power payback, power purchase agreement, then if there are issues with the equipment for whatever reason, it's up to whoever basically, owns the equipment.
But that cat did say if doing it when you own it, there's a lot more,
You
Well,
do
you
get more
you
savings.
get more
Double.
savings, a lot more savings.
Rick?
More than double.
But I mean, it's,
But still,
It's, that's what all investments are,
That's
Doug.
exactly
You
right.
know,
that's exactly
risk
right.
versus the benefit, so,
That's why I'd like to talk to other places that did this, that bought them or even didn't buy them, how much maintenance they've had. I think that would go along. I mean, in the last 5 to 10, I don't know how long.
If we could ask somebody how sustainable this open market is, it sounds great now, but the energy, next
Yeah, I mean,
administration that comes in can completely.
One of my big worries too is in any of these situations, there really isn't savings in the first couple of years, and that's,
That's what we needed.
and I like, when we do budget, I like to look long-term, but you also have to look short-term too, and short-term, we need as much savings as
The
possible.
biggest advantage of the power purchases would freeze our costs. And my power costs have gone up 50% in commercially this year. And if the economic people are right, it's gonna double again. So if we could put a lid on that, that would be phenomenal. Now, even on that power purchase, it was a 3% budget.
Somebody plan for it.
Boy, it's one of those things where, and you're right, Jared, looking short term, this doesn't do us much good. Okay, looking long, term, it does us a lot of good. The problem is that we have to look at this year's budget. And it's a problem to look, when you look at savings down the line. Board member here.
Yeah.
So You guys take that back, digest it, we'll come up with a plan.
If you can get names from CAT, school districts that have the doctors,
Mhm.
I'll put it in charge about the school districts.
I'll talk to
I know you will.
them. Because every time I drive the turnpike, I see Middleton, they're going towards Harrisburg on both sides. I mean, they have their school on the one side, the other side, they have all the solar panels.
They also have a lot of land there.
Oh, yeah,
So they're,
yeah.
they fill up that field, but it's still.
Yeah, I'd like to know how, I mean, they've had it there for years. What's the maintenance been? I mean,
Well, it's been there 10 years.
no, I know that. So I'd like to know, has there been a lot of maintenance or have it been, yeah.
One good hailstorm.
So positive.
It's been a good month for solar power.
It has been. You're right about that. Unusually.
50% of the counties in drought conditions.
Quite severe to oil, severe.
You may as well take advantage of this desert
Boy, it's
vacation.
getting serious. It's dry.
Are we done at 5?
We're okay if you're okay.
Not okay. I'd like to have a decision made. I think
Yeah.
the decision is going to be.
Did there before. I mean,
Number
we had
8, additional items.
Yeah, there's one, the senior high auditorium, the drama and music people have requested modifications made to the auditorium booth. So the way it was constructed, it's very difficult for them to do all the things that they want to do. And now with this new system, I guess there's a problem with the window, is interferes with where the system is, interferes with how you can do the window, which now adds to the complication. And Rob can, fill us in a little bit more on this, but I believe what they're asking for is, can they take the window out essentially and leave it open, kind of like they do at the junior high?
Yeah, basically they wanted to take us 3 windows down below the sound panels out. Open that area out where the windows are at so they could see the stage and hear a lot better. Even if the way it is, they can't see or
Yeah.
hear the stage.
I mean, that's certainly the way it should be running. They have to be quiet with it. But that's their problem. But not being able to hear and see is
problematic.
Yeah, it's
For sure.
problematic. I go back and take the windows out and storm so hard for a year and see what I'll put back in.
Well, they want the whole area cut out and open.
Can we just take the glass out?
That doesn't really help them visually or.
Because they're getting blocked out, I think.
Those windows aren't very big.
Oh, you mean the little projector window?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They want, we can also go 3 out and they want to cut the whole area between them out, which I believe that's something we can self-perform. I mean, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, no, if you don't do 30 feet of wall, you could do.
Right, they just want to open it between those windows, pretty much the width of those 3 windows.
I certainly have no objection.
Yeah, I figured that they could get a price and estimate on what they think it's gonna cost. If the board has no objection, then we'll schedule it for the summer, or as soon as possible.
Do it now.
It could be something done over break, like Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
These guys aren't working over break, and they have some good.
But the,
Don't believe everything he tells you,
Can't you do
Rob.
that over a weekend?
Sure.
Rob can do
Time
it.
and money is no object.
That's no problem.
Yeah, that was the big one, but being it was an alteration to the actual facility, I figured we should talk about it here before we move forward with it.
Plan.
And I certainly have no objection to just going it. That's the way it should be done.
Yes, sir.
The sound people need to actually hear what the sound is, not through headphones.
Mhm.
And if they're trying to do cues off of that window, that's really difficult.
Yeah.
One thing selfishly, I'd like to add to that, if we do that work, is we need a projector or 2 worth their salt in that auditorium. Wade has to wheel this little thing out on a cart from like 1985 onto anytime he talks to parents or teachers, and we have this old computer. So I really would like to either get giant televisions on either side of the stage or some sort of projector that is mounted up in the back of the auditorium somewhere that has the power to throw the image and still be sharp on the thing, so we don't have to use that.
Yeah, we've been, the churches have been hanging the projectors and getting a good 16-foot wide image.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. I know it can be done. It can be done well. I think those projectors are expensive, and we'll bring back.
Not as expensive as they used to be.
Yeah.
The price has fallen.
And we might be to the point now where, giant television screens might be cheaper on either side. I don't know. I went to United's auditorium is
Oh, they've
beautiful.
done, yeah.
They have like the same kind of lighting we have at the stadium in their auditorium, so they can turn it blue, they can turn it red, they can turn it green, whatever, the whole area. And then they have these two giant television screens on either side of the stage so that you can project things on the stage that may interact with the performance without having the screen come down in the way. So ideally, that might be some, the way we want to go. And we're not ready for this yet, but while we're talking about the auditorium, we have this new light show up, I think we should probably take the next step and make the senior auditorium usable, like really usable. I don't want to speak for Wayne. I had the pleasure of making a presentation there recently, and I was like, really, this is what we had to look for.
Difficult financial times.
Yeah, they are, and we're gonna get through it, but.
Well, and you start looking at make a recommendation.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked to Lee about it. She thought projecting to those two sidewalls. We talked about putting something in the middle rather than projecting, because that's what they do for functions now. They get two setups and project onto the wall. Those two walls will be visible by.
Well, whatever, I mean, let them start coming up with what they would want in their best case scenario and what you would want, and then we'll get a price on it, we'll bring it back to you. Right?
The storage building up there.
Yes.
We've
We've been talking about it for 2 years. Yeah.
It's your favorite project.
Look, either spend 20,000 and tear it down, spend 40,000, put a roof on it. So,
What would you tear it down? It's pretty.
I know that, but either one or the other. Right now, we're just letting it rot.
So
Okay,
It's a ruin.
and it's inexcusable. Okay, we either spend the money to tear it down or spend the money to put a roof on it. For God's sakes, make a decision. Okay, it's not getting any better by letting it.
Even if they're the roof on, is the inside still okay? Is like, there's been so much water in there.
It's all masonry. There's
It
no
is, it's
plastic
all
on it.
stone, yeah, so it hasn't had too much
They
damage.
finally, they got all the storage on.
Yeah, it's empty.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. But,
Well, I would think we ought to put the roof on it and extra space for something.
Yeah, at the very least storage.
It's the one
Yes,
right here.
storage.
It's the one right by
Very modern.
the little, by
yeah,
the,
it's totally- okay. But we're just pretending pretending there's not a problem.
Well, I noticed somebody put hearts all over the doors. So somebody will fix it. Just the way it is.
They're trying to get it.
Turn it into another cooler.
I'm trying to get people to come get us a roof quote on it.
Davis.
Did they?
Why can't those junior high?
I had 'em up there anyway.
Just the extra stuff
Can
they
you,
have.
if you have one, can you send it our way? And if,
Yeah, I know.
Installed that thing.
Yeah, I know Dave's been working with CD Davis to try and get a quote off of them for it, but
yeah, we'll go over that.
I think we talked about it at the last building the grounds.
Yeah, we keep talking about it, but we act like it's gonna fix itself.
Yeah, and if CD Davis isn't gonna give it to us, we can
Find
at
somebody
least
else.
try a quote from somebody else too, CNC.
Or-
I know somebody
Okay,
did
very
too.
good.
I don't know, do they have to
Anything
be
else?
specialized people?
I'm
Like,
good.
I know a good roofing company.
I'd say, I mean,
Very
Miss Harley would know better than I would. It doesn't have to be a specialty roofing company to put a roof.
Mhm, I
on.
gotta tell you something.
I understand it doesn't look like a-
I caught some people's
I know
attention.
somebody who would do it. Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
Just for information, Borough Police has keys for Eisenhower and Franklin.
Everything's taken care of?
Yeah, that's excellent.